When it comes to recurring comedy, just leave it all to them.
Sonny!
So you think Sam and Freddie should be together?
Sonny!
Thank you!
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 running gags of iCarly. For this list, we're taking a look back at some of the funniest catchphrases, quirks, and recurring jokes delivered by our favorite Nickelodeon web show trio, and some of the hilarious supporting cast.
I've been fired.
What?
Why? Dude, we gotta stop doing that.
If you've never had these jokes tickle your ribs before, there will be spoilers. Number 10. Claustrophobic Carly. During a test to see if they're ready to do iCarly in space, Carly finally snaps and develops a massive case of claustrophobia, violently busting out of the test pod.
I feel like I'm inside a woman!
Carly, calm down, you're gonna be fine.
Shut up, Freddie!
Since then, almost every time Carly finds herself confined in a small space, she starts freaking out, either trying desperately to escape or just making strange noises.
I can't handle being trapped in small spaces like this.
Panic attacks are no laughing matter in reality, but the way Carly has her little freakouts is too hilarious to not giggle at. A lot of that is thanks to Miranda Cosgrove for really hamming up her performance as a frantic Carly, whether through savage panicking or spastic breakdowns. Number 9. Gibby taking his shirt off. Gibby is an oddball, pure and simple. During his days as a supporting character, he would randomly take off his shirt for no real reason. He'd dance shirtless, he'd walk around school topless, and he'd even discard his shirt during a brawl as a sign that he meant business. Good luck trying to get him to cover himself back up. At one point, Sam was convinced that he was a mermaid because he supposedly hated wearing shirts.
And last year you were sure Gibby was a mermaid. He hates wearing shirts. Coincidence?
However, as he grew up, he thankfully got over his shirtless habit. But fans and hecklers still tell him that he should go back to taking his shirt off, much to his dismay.
I don't take my shirt off anymore. Maybe you didn't hear about it, you've been away a long time. I don't take my shirt off anymore. Not without a good reason, like to swim or take a shower.
Number 8. You'll rue this day, rue it. Unquestionably one of the iCarly trio's most persistent enemies is the devious Neville Papperman. Nearly every time he clashes with them, he vows to make them rue the day they crossed him.
You shouldn't have done that, Carly Shay! You'll rue this day, you'll rue it!
Admittedly, it's hard to take this threat seriously at first with his reliance on old-fashioned vocabulary. But be cautious. When Neville makes a threat, he does everything he can to see it through. He'll stoop to any level and jump through as many hoops as he can to undercut and eliminate iCarly.
You can't prove anything, but I can prove that you owe me a car, and I'd better get it, or you'll rue this day, right?
Fortunately, Carly and the gang always get the upper hand, and they ensure that Neville doesn't just regret messing with them, but that he rues it.
Rue this, Neville! What is she? Oh, no.
Number 7. Freddie never says one.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
The web show simply can't start until Freddie does the countdown from 5 to 2. Heck, it's even heard in the theme song. Yet, oddly enough, Freddie never says one before he starts filming.
Yeah, well, I've never heard Totally Terry say, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You don't say the one.
What's even weirder is that he's even done it a few times outside of the web show whenever a countdown was needed. Nobody really knows why he skips the one on purpose, and only a select few actually question why. But that never stops Freddie from kicking things off his way.
Why doesn't Freddie say in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
No one knows.
I know.
No one cares.
Probably the only way iCarly can start with one is if someone else cuts in right as Freddie finishes his countdown. But it feels jarring in comparison.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
Number 6. Overbearing Mrs Benson. There comes a point where a mother's love becomes suffocating. Freddie's mom, Marissa, passed that point long ago.
You come with me right now.
Where?
To a doctor to have that blemish removed.
No. Removing tattoos is extremely painful.
So is being the mother of a delinquent.
No, but Mom, it's gonna hurt.
We want to say it's sweet that Mrs. Benson just wants to protect her son, but the way she smothers poor Freddie is laughably embarrassing. She'll interrupt the web show just to make him eat his vegetables. She'll give him tick baths, and she even put a GPS chip in his head so she'll always know where he is. And all that is just for starters.
As soon as Freddie was old enough to toddle, I had a locator chip put in his head by a questionable doctor in Venezuela.
You chipped Freddie?
Oh, I chipped him because I love him.
There may come a time where her overbearing ways will finally drive Freddie away, but for now, at least Freddie can say that she knows how to keep him safe, for better or worse. Number 5, Gibby.
Who's the best weirdo in Seattle? Gibby! Gibby!
Once the days of randomly taking off his shirt were gone, Gibby needed a new funny gimmick for his character. His new shtick became how he announces his presence by loudly declaring his name, followed by an audience cheering soundbite.
Gibby!
It's almost like he knows how far he's come from a supporting character to part of the main cast, so he's going to make sure everyone knows his name. Unfortunately, it's not as effective on anyone who doesn't get his eccentric ways.
Will you buy it?
I don't know, it's cool, but does it really say Gibby?
I don't know what that means!
This could also be a reference to a previous running gag where whenever Gibby got on someone's nerves, they'd angrily shout his name to berate him.
We did it!
Gibby!
Number 4, Freddie's crush on Carly. Freddie has been one of Carly's best friends since before the show even began. However, Freddie has a massive crush on Carly, and it really shows throughout the series.
You dropped this. Thanks, but you.
I was gonna walk you home from school, but I couldn't find you. Hey!
Freddie, were you just looking at your peephole waiting for me to come home?
No!
Freddie?
Yes.
He gets jealous whenever she dates someone new. He tries, and fails, to woo her every now and then, and he'll do anything she asks him to just because she says please for me.
Please, for me?
Don't do that.
What?
You think whenever you say please for me that I'll just do anything you want. Well, not this time.
Please, for me?
Okay.
Carly's made it more than clear that she doesn't return his feelings, at least until he saves her life, but Freddie knew it wasn't true love. After that, Freddie slowly gave up the pursuit, but the two still remain close friends, although there's still the occasional hints that Freddie might be alive and well.
So I'm gonna get my bags and head downstairs.
Why don't I help you with those bags?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Number 3, Sam's butter sock. It's no secret that Sam can be incredibly violent, but you've got to give her props for being able to weaponize something so ridiculous.
What is that?
A sock full of butter.
For what? For swinging. I could brain an elephant with this thing.
Her ideal instrument of pain is a sock that she fills with hard butter. When she starts swinging it, nobody's safe. Originally, it was planned to be a sock full of quarters, but they didn't want young viewers to try it at home. Plus, let's face it, no one besides Sam would think to use butter as a blunt object.
Sam, take the head off that dummy. I don't know, I hate to damage someone else's property.
What makes the butter sock even nastier is how Sam almost never changes out the butter. So if you cross her, you risk getting brained by moldy dairy in the hands of a madwoman.
What is that? I'm changing the butter in my butter sock. Oh, what's this green stuff?
Field butter.
Oh.
Number 2, TBOs food on a stick. Aside from Carly's apartment, our iCarly trio can usually be seen hanging out at the Groovy Smoothie. Nearly every day, the restaurant's manager TBO will walk around the store trying to sell random food impaled on a stick to everyone, from bagels to pickles and even tacos. Don't ask us how he manages to get the tacos on a stick. It's a skill that only he seems to master.
See? It's impossible.
Unfortunately, barely anyone is ever interested in buying food off the stick, mostly because TBO tends to be a little pushy when it comes to selling his wares. Still, credit where credit is due, it's definitely a unique method to sell food, as long as he puts them on the right way.
Why'd you stick the donuts on that way?
What are you saying?
Well, they're donuts. They have a hole right in the middle.
But you put the stick through the sides.
Man, this is embarrassing.
I always let out an involuntary cheer whenever Sam uses the butter sock. Such a welcome sight every time. Here are some other iCarly staples I'll never tire of seeing before we get to our number 1. Unless someone sets it on fire first.
He asked you out! I heard! Let's go pick out your outfit! Okay. Wait, one sec. You know, I owe this all to you. You are doing an awesome job with me.
My buddy Sako's got an uncle who sells used ones. I bet he could find you a car and super cheap.
Okay. What's his name?
Otto.
Of course it is.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! You know it's not my birthday.
She was at the Jiffy Mart buying a snack and the guy cut in front of her, so she shoved a hot chili dog down his pants, and it turns out the guy was an ambassador from Mexico.
Oh, damn! So then what happened?
He yelled, "Los frijoles calientes queman mis pantalones!" Oh!
And now it's time for a little surprise.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. SpencersSpontaneous Fires. Spencer is a master at sculpting works of art, but his attempts at being a handyman tend to go up in smoke, literally.
Did you fix the printer?
Sure did, and you can print wirelessly now.
Really?
Yeah, try it out.
Okay. Command P.
Whenever Spencer tries to fix something, the object in question catches fire. What makes the gag even funnier is when the burning item isn't even flammable, such as a metal lobby bell or a fire extinguisher. That last one is hilariously ironic.
You just pull this thingy, point the nozzle suchly, and calmly squeeze this metal.
Unfortunately, the fire departments had more than their fill of Spencer's accidental infernos and are more than willing to leave him to his own blazing devices. While they feel literally burnt out, we can't get enough of one of the funniest and hottest running gags in Nickelodeon history. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.